Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. This is Gina. So, some terrifying news, and a surprising place that it was published actually was Fox News. Yeah, that Fox News, the same Fox News that has downplayed COVID, that has undermined our ability to get a handle on this virus and get back to normalcy in this country and get the economy back up and running. So, Fox News just published a story that was entitled Asymptomatic Kids May Be More Contagious Than Severely Ill Adults, New Study Finds. So here's the deal. Massachusetts General Hospital and Mass General Hospital for Children co-authored a study on 192 children that they looked at who were suspected of being infected with COVID. So of the 192 children they tested, 49 were confirmed positive for coronavirus. Here is one of the most scary parts. They had, quote, significantly higher levels of virus in their airways compared to virus-stricken adults in intensive care units. So even though these kids were mostly asymptomatic and considered to be healthy, they had a higher viral load in their airways. So these kids are breathing it out onto everyone. Their parents are tucking them in at night, giving them a kiss, and these kids have a way higher virus count in their airways. That is terrifying. They also found that only 50% of the children they tested who tested positive for COVID actually had a fever. So clearly scanning kids for fevers before they go into school is ineffective. And this is going to provide a false sense of security for parents who are sending their kids back to school. This should absolutely terrify every parent into demanding that schools remain closed, but it's not. It's absolutely not getting through. I don't know what to do. I literally recently saw a post from a parent who was so excited. She posted on Facebook that she had finally, after weeks and weeks of searching, she finally found a school and they didn't require social distancing or masks. And her concern was that we're terrifying children. We're scaring these children. It's doing psychological damage. Oh my God. And the amount of people who commented, who were cheering her on, who found this to be great news and were lauding her and saying, what a great job and good for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. So the lead author of this study, Dr. Lal Yonker, not sure how you pronounce that first name, it's Lael. Dr. Yonker said, quote, I was surprised by the high levels of virus we found in children of all ages, especially in the first 2 days of infection. I was not expecting the viral load to be so high. You think of a hospital and of all of the precautions taken to treat severely ill adults, but the viral loads of these hospitalized patients are significantly lower than a healthy child who is walking around with high SARS-CoV-2 viral load. So people who literally are so gravely ill that they have been admitted to the ICU have less virus in their body than a child who looks healthy, who is asymptomatic, walking around, playing with your child, playing with their siblings, coming home to family who may have pre-existing conditions, and they are more likely to spread it. They have a significantly higher viral load in their lungs that they're breathing out. And then a Dr. Alessio Fasano, she's the senior author of the study, she said that health experts have come to the erroneous conclusion that adults are the vast majority of those infected because we have mainly screened symptomatic subjects. Well, yeah, of course. If you're only screening people with symptoms and adults make up the majority of those with symptoms, you're going to conclude that adults are the only ones we have to worry about, right? I mean, if kids are walking around asymptomatic, you're not screening them. Yeah, we are going to come to the inaccurate conclusion that kids are not at risk and that kids don't get it that often because they're not showing symptoms. So researchers and rightfully pointed out that even though children are unlikely to become gravely ill with COVID, the many undiagnosed children are likely to pass it on to a family member. And as I said, many of those family members may have a pre-existing condition or just their immune system isn't as strong as the children. And we already know that adults, I mean, based on just this alone, we already know adults are the ones who have more symptoms and severe symptoms. I mean, obviously, if you have adults landing in the ICU with less COVID in their system, I would argue that children are super spreaders and the ones we need to worry about the most. For all the people out there who are arguing that your rights are being taken from you, that you have a right to not wear a mask, or if you're one of these assholes who is using a fake medical condition to go into a store without a mask, we see you. And you know what? A lot of you talk about God and you believe in the Bible and you vote Republican because you're pro-life. Really? How pro-life are you? If you're walking into a store without a mask and you could be asymptomatic, carrying the COVID virus, and you don't know who's next to you in that store. You don't know that the person next to you isn't undergoing chemo treatments for cancer. And you could be spreading that to them because their immune system is compromised. So how pro-life are you? And if I see you in a store, I have no tolerance for it. I am going to call you out. I will embarrass you. I will run you out of the store. To me, it's no different than somebody driving drunk. It's no different than somebody in a restaurant or a store smoking and blowing their secondhand smoke in my face and in the face of other people who choose to live a healthy life and not to smoke. Your rights end where you infringe on another person's safety and life. So get over it. I have literally no tolerance for it. And stop thumping your Bible. Stop thinking that God's going to save you. If God were going to save us from COVID, the virus wouldn't exist to begin with. There are ways for us to control it. I've said this before. I have extended family in Japan. I have heard directly from them that they just recently surpassed 1,000 COVID deaths. Not 1,000 a day as we had, 1,000 total. In all of these months, they only shut down for about 2 months. Their unemployment rate is about 3%. Their economy is back up and running. They're back open. You know why? Because everybody wore a damn mask. The government didn't even have to mandate that they do so. They just did it. It's part of their culture. They actually care about their fellow citizens. What a concept. So just put on your goddamn mask and stop with your whining and bitching. Stop turning this into a political issue. This is not a political issue. It's a health issue. It's a right and wrong issue. It's a do you want to get back to normal issue. It's a do you want the economy back up and running. And as I've said before, if Trump supporters really want him to get reelected, then they would wear a damn mask. Because that is the quickest way, the easiest way for our economy to get back on track, for everybody to get back to work, for stores to open up, and for him to get reelected based on how good the economy is doing. So just shut up and wear your damn mask. So that is my COVID rant for the day. As always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and wear your goddamn mask. All right, take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.